Good evening, good evening, good evening. Have I turned my mic on? Have I turned my... Yes, I've turned everything on. This might be a first time ever. It's worked out the gate. Hello everybody and welcome back to Fishy Business on a Friday night with Aquarium Adventures. Hope you're doing well, hope you're settled in. Have yourself a tasty snack and beverage, as some of my friends say. I'm starting off with another first timer, I think, this week. Is the... Oh, I can't do that because it's not got autofocus on anymore. No, another northern monk called Tank Petrol. Of course. Fruity in the Futures, a hazy IPA 6%. By drinking this beer, I'm helping support people, places and communities. So, you know, doing my thing for charity. So, Tank Petrol by Northern Monk. Still not sponsored. Hope you're doing well. Let me know what... Oh, something happened. I don't know what happened there. It wouldn't be an Aquarium Adventure stream without some kind of technical difficulty. Let me see if I can fix that by pressing buttons randomly. And that might have fixed things as if by magic. Ooh, I'm all out of focus again though. You know, professional me. I was about to be all cocky there and say, I've got the GoPro working, watch this. So, I've obviously not got it working well enough because, you know, well, you might be able to see the quiz questions if I do it that way. Back to big face. Right, we're there. Minor IT issues, but hopefully we're all back in again. Have we got anybody watching? Let's have a look. We've got Rossin from a wet and windy Edinburgh. A very windy Edinburgh, actually, not wet and windy. Cheers, Ross. It has been a fairly mild Sheffield, if I'm completely honest. It's a bit chilly now, but it's roasting in here, so, you know, I'm alright. My cunning plan to have my fish room and my office combined so as I get the best of both worlds. Heat the fish room, heat myself, everyone's a winner. Oh, look at that. I can smell it from here being fruity. And indeed it is. I'm just going to assume you can see me and hear me and I'm still streaming. Fun. More mod features. Finally, you... Oh, what more mod features have you got? I'm not aware. Stuart's in from a dark... That's going to become mildly annoying. Do you think we can get away with just using the GoPro as the main camera? Is that a thing? Will that work? What if I put that kind of there? Oh, that's a funny perspective. Does that work? Does it work while I try unplugging and plugging things back in again? God, it's gone mental. Right, got a loose connection somewhere. See if that does anything. Who knows? Anyway, we'll try and continue. Martin L, good evening, Martin. Jeff Pelham's Aquatics, hello. Dangerous Dan is in, as is Aquarium Delirium, hello. Yeah, build's coming along nicely if anybody's interested in watching that. Head over to Aquarium Delirium. It's doing a similar offish type deal to me. but just smarter looking. Stuart Laker, Fish Fam Link, howdy Fish Fam, hello there. An afternoon, yes, from all over the world, all different people. Quite right, Fish Fam Link. I can no longer read the chat because I've put the camera in right in the stupid. That's not going to work either. Fish Fam Link saying something. Todd River Aquatics. John saying something about Australia. Oh, maybe if I stop being an idiot and just move that over there, I'll be able to see. So I'm not going to look at you as much. Hopefully I'll be able to read the chat now. Scott Haddo, Scott is one of our longest serving mods. I think you might even be making a play for Chief Mod because Jennifer's not been around for a while. Released his first ever speaking video. Pardon me. So if you fancy checking that out, head over to Scott's channel and show a bit of love. Lanx Fishkeeper, Stephen P, how you doing? Dave the Diver, nice to see you. Looks like She-Hulk. What, me? I'm going to risk it again, see if anything's coming back on. Nope. I wonder. This is fast turning into the stream where all I do is try and fix technical problems, and while getting slowly drunker and drunker. Is that the content you all come to see? I mean, it can't be true. IT issues, yes, quite right. Good evening from Bolton, hello Lee. It looked like backstage at a NASA launch. I do have lots of buttons I can press. I mean, that's the good thing about the GoPro is I can move this around and show you. This is my setup, so if I take you from over here, we've got the microphone, which is plugged into the mixing desk, but I've only got these two channels running at the moment. So this is my main mic, and this is when I want to go mobile. I turn this one up and that one down. That's my calculator for calculating things. I tend to have my email and Discord open on this screen, but when I'm running live I have OBS open on this screen in Discord. Then obviously that's the camera that's proving problematic with the light and my security cameras, which is because there's no windows in here. This is what I use to have a look and see what's going on in the world. And then my big screen, and there's the chat that really annoys me and doesn't work properly. Then that's the one that I do when I share my desktop. You get to see that screen. And then work laptop screen, PC and server, and then Humphrey. And we're back full circle. Ooh, made me dizzy. There you go, you've had a little bit of a behind the scenes tour. Rufus Thomas, greetings from South Africa. Greetings, Rufus. Stephen P says, impressive setup you've got there. Well, yeah, you'd think so, but none of it hecking works. Yeah, maybe if I just had a webcam sat on top of the screen pointing at me. It's going to annoy me, this, I'm afraid, so I'm going to have a go at it. Oh, I know what it is, actually. I bet you I know what it is. This is definitely a picnic, Scott, as we were discussing earlier. Oh no, I don't know what it is. I did see a message about USBs going all horribly wrong, but let me see if I can turn this back on. Right, it made a noise that seemed encouraging. Hurrah! Okay. We're back in business. But it's all focusing wrong now. You can't. It's good enough. I'm going to touch it. Right. Oh, now this is crashing. It's impressive, but it's problematic. Plushy Aquatics, hello there. Stuart Laker, all good. Good. Weather's mild here in Dublin too. That's what we like. It's funny since it didn't happen to me. It is funny, I suppose. You could say that. Oh, I can move this back over here now because I can see it again. I prepared and everything. I've done the quiz tonight. I had the quiz done by lunchtime today. I spent some time checking out different, making sure all my USBs were different. Because remember last week I was moaning about the GoPro and how it didn't work properly. Got that working like a charm. Used all the different USB lanes, so there was no conflicts. As soon as I say go, it just went. So, cheers everyone. We'll try. If you're new here, if this is your first time visiting, I'd like to say it's not normally like this, but it's normally like this. I don't know why. I'm just bad at it. But generally, we try and do a bit of fishy chat, fun chat about anything that's going on. We have a quiz, maybe talk about some topics of the day, and allow you to ask me anything. Whatever you want to ask, stick it in the chat. Hey, let's push the boat out. If anybody wants to come on as a guest, I'll try and get you in through Discord, and we can talk live to live if you want to be on camera, and it works. But if you have a question, type question in your question, and then it kind of highlights it for me, and I see it a little bit easier. Fish or otherwise, IT issues, I'll solve all your problems or make them worse anyway. All you have to do is a like is appreciated. Let's say that. Go and watch one of my videos and all that good stuff. Subscribe, really appreciated. A like, very much appreciated. That's all. That's the cost of entry is just one little like. So let's see if we can get the likes up, because I bet you. I've moved it now. I'm going to rant about myself in a minute. We've got 43 people in, but only 17 likes. I should at least get a couple of sympathy likes first. Having these problems. Word up, G. Thank you, Chicken Fist. I don't know why that made me laugh, but hello. Just a funny story. I took my daughter to one of her extracurricular activities the other day in a different town in Rotherham. A place I'd never been to before. I was a bit confuddled about where we were going, and we were a bit late, and we're crossing the road, and a guy pulled up in a car and slowed down, rolled his window down and went, "Graham!" And I was like, oh no, it's somebody I clearly meant to know. And I'm like, hello. He's like, "Watch all your videos, love the YouTube channel, thanks man." I was like, "Oh, thanks very much, yeah, cheers, see you later." My daughter's face was like bright red. Oh my god, you're so embarrassing. Can't believe people know who you are. I was like all proud, and she was devastated by it. I thought it was great. So if you ever see me out in the real world with my daughter, make sure you come up and say hello. That's all. Boss says hello. Wayne Chapman from Nottingham, good evening. Andy Stevens, hello Andy. How's yourself? Oh, how far behind am I? Not quite. Greetings from Michigan. Brian on a work break in a very dreary Dalmuir. Oh, Nabokov's going to miss the quiz. My apologies. I shall return and have a bit of fun. Are you doing a repull for the UVC? No, we're not doing a repull for the UVC. The winner got in contact and it was posted out yesterday or the day before. So I'm hopeful that you'll have it by now. Andy, pardon me. Andy, I think, won the giveaway for the UVC last week. The kind of drink She-Hulk, not you. Oh, right, okay. It does a bit, doesn't it? Well, because it's green. Yeah, that makes sense. Put a link for your channel, Scott. Yes, by all means do. Evening all says GB. Evening GB. Why won't you scroll down, chat? Come on. Oh, come on. Play the game. Question tech support. You're having a cable failure, likely USB or damaged or something. The cable that's in the other cam. Swap cables. Way ahead of you. Windows display. Yes, I could hear that. Yes. Silver Creek. Hello, Tommy. Let's see if we can catch up a little bit. So we will have the quiz round about 10 o'clock, which is 43 minutes from now, give or take. I have some news. I've been editing a video, so I could continue editing the video because it's taken me a lot longer than I thought it was going to take me. So we could do a true behind the scenes night where I show you my editing techniques as well. I don't think anyone would be interested in that, but got a couple of video ideas to talk about, and upcoming videos, shall we say. One that I'm particularly excited about. Something someone mentioned in Discord, so if you are... it worked. If you're into that kind of thing, join our Discord server. Lots of fishy chat and non-fishy chat. So someone mentioned about MD Aquatics is expanding his universe. MD Aquatics, is that what it's called? Just MD, isn't it? I don't know. MD Fish Tanks? MD. Whatever. And I have comments. Commentary? Don't worry, it's nothing controversial or anything. So we'll talk about that. Any other topics you want to cover, or have queries, or want to get my thoughts on them, or want to share your thoughts on them, get them in the comments. Passing winds here. This chat thing is doing my nutting. There you go. There's Scott's channel. If you could go and give it a bit of love. I had a picnic issue this morning. So for those of you who aren't aware, if you work in any kind of office environment or anywhere that has computers and you have an IT support function, and you phone up with a problem or log a ticket with a problem, and you see a resolution code PICNIC, PICNIC, and you think it's nothing because usually the help desk will just fob you off and go, oh yeah, that was a picnic, we sorted that, and you think, that's a bit weird, but it stands for problem in chair, not in computer, i.e. the idiot couldn't press the button properly. Reboot. Oh, we don't need a reboot. We can solve these things on the fly. Oh my god, I'm miles behind. Right, okay. Only Oscars. Hello, June. I want to say. I'm trying to remember names. I'm rubbish with names. June. 1-0 to me. That's not like I don't know why I said 1-0, but you know what I mean. And Join, he needs more Oscars. I do need more Oscars. I want to see some Oscars. Right. Well, we do have the technology for this. Let me just see if I can turn the lights on. And we can do a bit of a roving tour. And that's not working either. My Felix, which controls Mega Tank, has gone offline. And I can still take you for a look. Want to see some Oscars in the dark? Let's go, GoPro. I hope I didn't lose sound completely during that. But yeah, that's the video that I'm editing at the moment. But I'm having a bad day, basically, because I sat and did a whole bit with this tank behind me. I used the light on that tank so as I could show you some of the effects in real time while I was filming it, and forgot to unmute the microphone, so yeah, there's that. I'm one of those people who immediately hits the like button if and only if I am reminded to hit the like button. Well, thank you. Follow Stephen's lead, everyone. Hit that like button. Why not? It doesn't cost anything. 6K Aquatics, hello from Mexico. Hello. We truly are international tonight. It's your job to embarrass kids. Well, I'm really good at that job. Oh my god, I thought he wanted Grey Poupon. I don't know what that means. Alright, let's see if we can catch up a wee bit. Paul McCarthy, hello, how are you? Mexicali, Fishy, we've got everyone's in tonight. Just to push it, you're sharp on the mic. No. I'd imagine it's difficult to watch the chat and try and talk as well. You can miss a bit. Everything's difficult. When you're as dumb as I am, sometimes it is. I'm going dark. You'll be missed. I jest, of course. The human's never going to catch. The human is skipping things. So remember the golden rule of if you have an actual question, type question in your question, then I hopefully won't miss it. My Tapo plugs all went offline earlier this week. Ended up having to change my 2 gigahertz channel because once it was on too noisy. Yeah, I think that's what's happening down here, because as soon as I brought all this equipment down here, and I've got laptops, my work laptop, personal laptop, my 2 PCs are plug-in, but I do have Wi-Fi for a couple of other things in here. I think it's just got too noisy because I've also got all the other Wi-Fi kits and plugs and things down here. So I have brought down an extra access point to try and assign things to different access points to see if that clears it up. But that Felix has been problematic for a couple of weeks now. Oh, no sound. Did I do all that with no sound? Or have I still got no sound? It just gets better and better. I obviously did forget to twiddle something. You know when you have wireless mics, it helps if you turn on both ends. Okay. I'll paraphrase what happened during that dark period. I complained about my Felix Smart being offline, which we've just gone through again, and it didn't work very well, and I couldn't turn the lights on. And then I showed you a new light. Oh, God. Should we just give up now? Let's do the quiz and just give up, shall we? Right, we'll try one more time. Hopefully you can still hear me even if I move away now. It claims you can still hear me. I was showing you Humphrey's tank and a new light that I'm trialling. So if you've been following the live streams for the last, what feels like 6 months, this, I've just broke something else, God's sake, is the Aquarium light. This was the light where the company sent me 5,000 emails, made me agree to all kinds of things before they'd send me the light, then sent it to the wrong address, so I had to traipse across Sheffield to get it. They constantly sending me emails about, have you tried this? Can you do this? Will you agree to that? Will you agree to the other? It's turned up. It's here. I've been testing it today, and this is the video that I'm editing. Is about this light. And I'm a bit upset because I wanted to hate it. I wanted so badly to hate it so I could say it was crap, tell you how bad it was, never to buy it, but it's actually pretty good. It's this kind of, it's like a matte black finish. It just looks really quite premium, and it's so smooth and buttery, the action on the legs. It's got, so this is the temperature sensor. It's a light with a temperature sensor. I don't get this bit. I don't know why it's got a temperature sensor, but it does. It's also, it has 2 zones, so the left hand side and the right hand side of this are independent. So I mean, it's meant to be for a 24 to 36 inch tat, I think is its rating, but you can set like it can gradually go from dim to bright across the spectrum. That's quite good. It's very bright, so it's on a 5-foot tank at the moment, and it's only rated up to 3, and it's doing a pretty good job. And like I say, I'm a bit gutted it's doing such a good job, because I wanted to hate it, and I wanted to slate them and tell you all it was rubbish, but no, it's actually quite good. So, did you see that? Any of that? Did any of that come through? Yay, we have audio. Can you say hello to my daughter, Layla Sprog Brown? Hello! Humphrey says hello too. 26. Oh god, the fish room temperature is ridiculous. It's definitely cold outside, but the fish room is currently running at 25.9. For a larger man like me, that's quite high. The lights are so soft. It is. I'm so annoyed because it is quite good. Even the box is quite smart. There's some ridiculous things on it which hopefully I'll cover in the video. What's this for? Aquarium Smart App. Use the Aquarium Smart App on the iOS or Android mobile device. Easy to set up. Box for Android, box for iOS. Neither of which has a cross in it. It also makes some claims that it can't do, so I can have a moan about. But yeah, I was reasonably impressed with this. Right, where do we get to? I forgot to twiddle one. No, I twiddled them both. I just forgot to turn on one of the bleeping microphones. So I use these to film my regular videos, and obviously this is the Rode Wireless Go 2, I think it is. This is the receiver. No, this is the mic bit, the receiver's plugged into that thing I showed you earlier, but I forgot to switch that on. It's a lot to remember. I've had a busy day. I love a bit of mime. I hope some of you got something out of that, even if you were making up what I was saying. I was saying that I didn't want to switch. The Felix just needs to be switched off and back on again, and that's fine. But I was messing about with that doing water changes earlier, so I know that the water level's a little bit too high at the moment. And if I switch it off, it doesn't come back on quick enough before it starts a bit of a flood. So I just don't want that to do. So we'll just do it without mega tank lights. Mal, I think you need a flowerhorn. I think everyone needs a flowerhorn. Those big tanks next to your office as well, they're so interactive. They come, they play with you all day long, and it helps them as well because they really like the mental nourishment of having their human nearby. They really are water puppies. Flowerhorns, I think they're great. I think you might be right, Stillwater. Anger's definitely my love of Morris dancing. I'm glad some of you found it funny though. Thanks, Lisa. Hi from Sweden. Hello, Hans. How are you? Right. Too much sound. It looks pretty nice. Yeah, it does. It does. It looks premium. So my general conclusions. Spoiler alert. Still going to watch the video when I release it. My general conclusions are it's budget premium. I think that's kind of where it sits. So your Nicros, your Hygers, or that kind of thing. It's more expensive than them, but it's better than them as well. But you can spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds on lights that do that kind of thing. So it's full spectrum, all that good stuff. Very controllable from an app, and it also can be controlled without the app. Yeah, God, it's annoyingly good. And I reckon it's about $100 all in, shipped to the UK. Yeah, so it's twice the price of a equivalent Nicro, but it's half the price of one of your more premium ends, and it would look good on an aquascaping tank. It looks nice. Why are we talking about Gorilla Glue? Is it is it sticking adverts in the middle? The YouTube has changed the way it's now doing everything automatically for my benefit. I meant to look at that and then forgot. So let me know, how are you getting adverts in the middle of this? I can change that. I can't change it now. It'll have to be changed next week, I think. Fish Vet, hello. So I'll pretend you hated the light and just send it my way so you don't have to look at it again. Yeah, no, it's annoyingly good. I find myself with a light surplus at the moment. So my friends at Fluval sent me a whole bunch of lights as well. So at one point I was ready for spending hundreds of pounds on extra lights, and now I've got too many. Problem in chair, very much. Yes, it's my sort. Adverts. Sorry, I apologise everyone for the adverts. It's a new setting where YouTube are making things easier for me. I'll sort it out soon. Question: if there are adverts, does it put people behind in the live, or does it just carry on and join again whenever you are in your sentence? I don't know. That's what I was worried about, because I definitely don't run an ad blocker. It'd be a terrible idea to get an ad blocker, because then I won't get paid. But if we do the quiz, I mean, the quiz will be real time, so I'm going to start the quiz around about 10 o'clock. So even though there's an ad in the middle of it, you'd just be behind for me reading out the question. But if you're waiting for me to read out the question, you're already behind. So I hope it doesn't matter that much, if that makes sense. But I don't want to have ads on the live stream, because I only get 40, 50, 60 concurrent viewers. It's not like ad revenue is a big thing with live streams. Yeah, so it would annoy me watching a live stream with adverts. So if you're experiencing adverts, I apologise. So, Fish Vet, what happened? What's going on? You've missed my new beer that I was trying out. If they're waiting for the quiz, we've just had an advert, they're already behind and won't know when the quiz goes. You have a point. Right, so in my world, it is now 9:41. We'll aim to start the quiz around 10. What number are we on here? 129. I will put the link in the chat now so that you can get pre-registered. Oh, I almost put in Pirate's voice there. No, we don't want to do that. Random question order. Oh, loudness. So we're not going to start the quiz for another 18 minutes or so, but I have just put the link to the quiz in the chat, so you can register for it now and you won't miss it when it goes live. As always, the quiz is 20 questions, some of which are vaguely aquatic themed. I'm really struggling now to think of 20 fishy questions, so if it's even anything to do with water, I'm counting that as a fishy question these days. So there's 20 questions, some fishy, some not, some Jean-Claude Van Damme, some not. Prize for the winner: if you live in the US or Mexico or any of these other foreign lands, I'm sorry, I ain't sending you a prize. I'll send you an Amazon voucher or something like that, something virtual. Maybe, and that's only a maybe, every now and again, there might be a better prize. For instance, maybe they sent me 2 of those lights, or just 2 lights, and we might give away one of those. Maybe I have an excess of fish food. Yeah, we just don't know. Maybe you'll get some crappy nonsense. Some British Geographic questions. No, some World Geographic questions. I don't think I've got any British Geographic questions this time. This music's annoying me, so I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. The mood music. I'm hoping as well, I think I was a couple of weeks behind in prizes, so hopefully everyone's up to date with orders and prizes. Merch orders, I'm told, have been sent. So if you want anything from my 100th live stream, and what are we now, on 130 or something like that? No, that can't have been it. Yeah, so all the orders went out this week, I was told. So for comedy value, I saw this in the shop today. Don't really want to drink it, I just thought I'd buy it. For beer number 2, we're going for Ayaroki, because it's kind of similar letters to Ashoka, which is a TV program that I've been watching this week. This is a Vocation Special Edition beer, Deepa, which is double IPA, I believe. Oh no, 8% volume. Okay, this is where things start to go downhill fast. Filled to the brim with flavours of tropical and stone fruits and a soft bitterness on the finish. Crack open this can and celebrate success at the peak of your day. I have had no success today, but we'll do it anyway. Oh, it's a funny colour. It's kind of a mucky puddle colour. Jeff Pelham, I heard about the famous tree that was cut down in the UK. Yes, there are no questions about that, so we can happily talk about that. Yeah, it was a bit sad, but I think we're getting a bit carried away. So yes, it was an old tree. I've heard loads of reports about, oh my god, this was around in Robin Hood's time. Like, 1, Robin Hood wasn't real. 2, that was Kevin Costner. It was medieval. No, it's like 200 years old, something like that. It's not medieval. It is just a tree. And if you're that upset about one tree, why are we not really upset about the millions of trees that are being cut down? So it's just a bit of a... I know, I mean, it's sad. Yes, it is sad, but it's not that sad. There are bigger problems in the world. I don't know how I feel about this. Nice. I've been watching the Star Wars series on Disney Plus too. Yeah, it's quite good. Loved Star Wars as a kid. Got put off by the release of the first 3 or the second 3, depending on how you look at it. Even more so by the ones after that. I mean, they were fine. I wasn't like up in arms, but I was just a bit like, yeah. But then it was probably The Mandalorian or something like that. I think when that came out, I started watching that one and then tried to catch up with some of the other ones, and have been quite enjoying them. So yes, I will go back and watch some of the other ones. I've also been watching a lot of Welcome to Wrexham, which you might have seen it if you're in the US or anywhere else, purely because it's got Ryan Reynolds in it. They bought that football team. I've been enjoying that. It made me laugh when the reporter was estimating the age of the tree when they could finally count the rings. I mean, it is just one tree. Alright, it was in a picturesque place, but still just a tree. Alright, about 10 minutes left for the quiz. If anyone wants to join, we have 6 of you in. I'll put the... Oh, get out of the way, you. I'll put the link into the chat again. Yeah, so there will be a giveaway of some kind. Just say join quickly, because I don't know that I can afford to. This is not financially sustainable for me to do giveaways every week. The revenue of this channel's taking a big nosedive. I thought the issue, yeah, I mean, but it was an illegal felling of the tree. My point is that it was just one tree. I get a kind of NIMBY feeling from it, where it's like, oh, it's a special. It's just a tree, same as any of the other trees. It's not like it's huge deforestation. It's just one tree, and that's, yes, it was illegal to do it, and the person that did it shouldn't have done it and should be caught and punished. But I don't think it really deserves national outcry when far worse things go on and everyone's like, yeah, whatever. Andrew got a new chainsaw. Did that on his way home from his holidays. Do you know what? I thought that too. I thought that looks like a professional job. That was a very clean cut for such a big tree. Let me see if I can find it. If that... Oh, move me out the way. Hang on. If that isn't the work of a professional, no amateurs cut down a tree that size that cleanly. This is coming from a man who watches an awful lot of videos on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook that are about people chopping down trees. I don't know why. That and people cleaning rugs. I don't know why I get all of them. But yeah, it does look like a very clean cut. Unless they did a really dirty, cheap cut and someone's come along and cleaned it up afterwards. But yeah, I think this one here is the picturesque thing that you're meant to see. And it might, yeah, it is. But I've got a tree like that in my back garden. They're welcome to it. They can come and take it away and replant it there. Don't care. Am I the only one finding the background noise annoying? Probably not. I can do this though. Will that make it better? It was the only tree for miles around. It was. Yeah, and it's famous and all that. Kevin Costner stood under it one time. The tone of season 2 of WTW. Oh, Welcome to Wrexham is different. See, this is how it goes. I talk about things and then move on, forget about it, and then finally catch up with the chat where you're talking about it as well. I love Parkinese enthusiasm. That does make me laugh. But the whole training taught about meeting the king was very annoying. That's a few examples like that. Yeah. No, I have found it enjoyable. I know what you mean. It's twee. I like it because it's a little bit different. Whereas normally it's all about the main story, whereas they do like to take little like divergences. And one of the seasons about one of the episodes, one of the later second season anyway, about their main striker and his son who has autism, and my son has autism, and it was just it very much struck a chord with me, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone talk about it in that kind of way. And not that they didn't make an autism episode or anything like that, but it's just all this, the things that he was experiencing and thinking were the same things that I had experienced and thought, and I hadn't ever felt like that before when watching it. And I know that's very specific to me, so it's not like it's anyone else who's going to feel the same way, but I just in general quite enjoyed it, and I do like the enthusiasm. And I like how they've carried it through, because every time they do, his team talks in these enthusiasms, and they do the enthusiasm counts. It's good, yeah, I like it. Does tourism suffer from cutting down the tree? I mean, probably. lots of people go there to take a picture of the tree because it is quite picturesque. It's basically in a valley. If you look at this picture here, for instance, it's like a wind. I've been there. I'm sure I've been there. It's like I'm pretty sure there's trees here and there's trees here. It's just that this is in a wind tunnel, effectively, because it's the valley of two little. It's just the way that it shouldn't be there. It shouldn't grow there. It shouldn't thrive. And it has. So I might have gone with school. I can't even remember why I'd been there. There was like a plaque, or some guy gave us a talk about, it's the resilience of life, and life will find a way, and all that kind of stuff. And being like a 12-year-old or whatever I was at the time, I was a bit like, alright, whatever. I don't know. You can go and visit the stump. It's between the villages of Once Brood and Twice Brood. I'll try it. Can you repair a tree? That's a good question. Because you can do like grafting and stuff like that, where you can just stick it back on and wrap some cling film around it. I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that, but you know. Hoof General Practitioner, is this all the adverts you're now getting suggested? I do apologise. It might grow shoots. If it does, then it'll be multiple bout. Yeah, because I think that's what you're about to say. Let me read the whole thing. Ancient technique was to, so we've got a wood just up the road from us, which was a common for the people to come, and they could copse the trees, and that's what they used to do. So all the trees that are up there all have basically one stump and then like 5 trees growing out of them, because it comes out different ways, and then they could cut them down in stages to get the firewood for their house, and yeah. But just everyone's up in arms, as far as I can tell, because it was a beauty spot. They used it in a film. If they cut down one of the trees that's round the corner from it, nobody would have given a shit. Right on Hadrian's Wall, yes, that's we went to visit Hadrian's Wall, and that's why the film's rubbish. Because I'm pretty sure in the film they say that that's him just turning up in England, isn't it? Life won't find a way if there's a chainsaw involved. Yeah, they'll have extra trees. All good. I don't know what they're moaning about. Right. Last couple of minutes before I turn back the annoying music back up. We have 13 players. You know, tonight's prize could be worth hundreds, if not thousands of pounds. You want to get in there. There's 50 concurrent viewers at the moment, 40 likes. You may as well get in and have a chance of winning this prize. I mean, it might not be worth thousands of pounds. Disclaimer, it could be worth singular pounds. Disclaimer, you might want to send it back. It could be worth nothing. But you know, if it's an epic battle, then we might upgrade to a decent prize. We have about a minute, so if an advert's about to ruin your day, get in quick. It's fun. It's not all about fish. You don't have to be a fish nerd to win it. You just have to be in it. That could be a catchphrase. Well, it's... We've got 14 players at the moment. Only 14 people out of 50 want to play the amazing... I can't even keep a straight face myself. Only 14 want to play the amazing game. Make my head a little bit more fitting inner. 16, there we go. So far we've got Bummel, Fishbowl Troll, Jeff, Gino, Juggler, Mally, Mal, Martin, L, Moner Lee, Not Too Smart, Raggedy Tulip, SJH, Shadow, Stephen P, Tiny Tim, Toon, and Monkey Cheese. 19 people now. 20 people. And we have reached 10 o'clock, ready to go. Rebecca has arrived. I've put in lots of questions about pre-2000 films and trivia for you. So you have a great chance of winning tonight. And you got to miss all the debacle about me not knowing how to run a live stream from earlier. So, you know, that's good. Right, I think we're ready to go, aren't we? What do we think, people? Here we go. Cuttlefish have what colour blood? Green, blue, clear or black? According to the website I went to. Not necessarily the truth. But yeah, seemed plausible, respectable. It was, of course, green. Well done, 2 people. I thought I'd get lots of people with the blue blood. That's royals you're thinking of. Kings and queens. Well done, Not Too Smart and Juggler. An impressive lead straight away, given that only 2 of you got that one right. Which filler, that's meant to be filter, media can be classed as chemical? Is it sponge, floss, ceramic or carbon? So some of them are vaguely fish related. Do you want the music back up, or is it too loud? Or do you want it back down again? It is carbon. Well done, 14 people. I mean, technically anything's a chemical, so, you know. If you got that one wrong, you're kind of right. Filler media, yeah. Have you not heard of filler media? Which city is furthest north? London, Amsterdam, Tokyo or Toronto? As I'm a bit delayed from when you've played this, you've probably already selected Toronto. Spoiler alert, it's not Toronto. Now, if I see the numbers go down, clearly I should have. I've gone too early and told you that's not Toronto. No, we're fine. You all pick Toronto. It's Amsterdam. Well done. Oh, and I Know Nothing, and Stephen P, and Bumall. Golf's Ryder Cup between the USA and Europe is being held where this very weekend? Is it Rome, Berlin, Denver or New York? Team Europe's well in control from what I can understand. It's Rome, obviously. We're currently winning 6.5 to 1.5 on after day 1, which is pretty good. Doesn't get much better than that. If I'd been a pro golfer, Ryder Cup was something I definitely wanted to play in. How many different types of Lego brick are there? Is it 4,400, 8,800, 2,200 or 1,100? Denver is in Colorado. That's where I went to play golf once. On a scholarship. Not a scholarship. Well, kind of a scholarship. It's 4,400 Lego pieces. Who knew? Who knew? As did Tiny Tim and Fish. Juggler has done all of them with bare feet at one time, haven't we all? The process by which a gas changes to a liquid is called... Is it magic, evaporation, condensation, or osmosis? Gas changes to a liquid. They have nice snakes in Colorado. I did not see any snakes when I was there. I was chastised for wandering off and having a little seat next to some rocks because there could have been snakes there, but it is, of course, condensation. Evaporation is when it goes from gas to liquid, liquid to gas. I'm going to sneeze now. There you go. What does the WD stand for on the brand name WD-40? Is it water displacement, wicked degreaser, will dissolve, or wet discharge? Oh dear. Itchy nose. What does WD stand for in the brand name WD-40? It is water displacement. It's the 40th attempt to get water displacement right. Tiny Tim in under 2 seconds. That's pretty good. What film stars Bruce Willis, Chuck Norris, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Sylvester Stallone? Is it Rocky V, Universal Soldier, Kung Fu Panda 3, or Expendables 2? Obviously, anyone watching this quiz / livestream / podcast knows everything there is to know about Jean-Claude Van Damme by now. So you will all know that it's Expendables 2. Not too smart is being pretty smart, and is 4th at the moment behind Juggler in the lead with 120 points as we near the halfway stage. What type of whale appeared in Moby Dick? Sperm, humpback, blue, or beluga? Rebecca's just back from spoons. That's what we like, a bit of class. I do love a spoons. It was a sperm whale. Juggler increasing their lead. Stephen P in 2nd, Martin L in 3rd, and Fish in 4th. Question 10. Phenacogrammus interruptus is the scientific name for which fish? That was easy for me to say. Bolivian ram, cactus pleco, jaguar chichlid, or Congo tetra? Phenacogrammus interruptus, or Phenacogrammus interruptus. Bristol Fish Pond Spoons has fish statues in it. Ah. Proper reason to go then. It was Congo tetra. Phenogrammus, okay. As we all know, I cannot pronounce things properly when it comes to the Latin names. Which animal's name comes from the ancient Greek for river horse? Is it hippopotamus, manatee, rhinoceros, or crocodile? River horse. It is, of course, hippopotamus. As Rebecca says, Hippoma is the goddess of horses. Tiny Tim, in under 3 seconds, we're now moving on to Icat, which must be the most aggressively named beer ever. Icat, or ICAT. DDHDIPA. Double dry hopped double IPA. Oh, another 8%er. Butch Coolidge, Mia Wallace, Vincent Vega, and Jules Winfield are characters from which film? Reservoir Dogs, Fight Club, Pulp Fiction, or Dogma? Oh, this is going to be... I don't know if I'll survive this. Butch Coolidge, Mia Wallace, Vincent Vega, and Jules Winfield are main characters from which film? Of course it was Pulp Fiction. Nobody picked Dogma. Tiny Tim, you must be making a race for the top now. Second place. Juggler still got a way ahead there. Question 13. A group of crabs is called a what? An army, a caste, a pod, a flute. Nice can though. I do like the salt markings. Is it an army of crabs, a cast of crabs, a pod of crabs, or a flute of crabs? It's not an army. It's a cast. One person got that one right. And it was Tiny Tim. 24 points. Is it going to be challenging for the lead now? Oh, that's nice. The Shawshank Redemption is a film based on a book written by J.K. Rowling, J.R.R. Tolkien, Stephen King, or Harper Lee. They are all authors. Bonus points if you can give me in chat the name of a book written by each of them. If it's a tie break. Stephen King. There's not many points in it at the top. The top two still very much in contention. Which country is this? Is it Ireland, Italy, Hungary, or Mexico? The one with the mouse is definitely Green Mile. And also a Stephen King book, isn't it? Juggler in with the first answer. It was Italy. All very similar colours there. Well done, Bummel. Harry Potter, Hobbit, Green Mile, Kill a Mockingbird. Jellyfish do have lungs, brains, blood, or skin. It's a bit of a, do they? Question, this one. Ooh, controversial. It's skin. They don't have brains. Definitely don't have brains. Question 17. Which small live-bearing fish popular with beginners is known for its striking and diverse colour patterns? Is it an Oscar, a neon tetra, goldfish, or a guppy? So the key words here are small, live-bearing, striking in diverse colour. It is, of course, the humble guppy. So, we've got Juggler on 261, Tiny Tim on 241. You need to get 20 questions over these last few to take over from Juggler, who played the title role in the 1998 film The Waterboy. Is it Sean Connery, Adam Sandler, Michael J. Fox, or Jean-Claude Van Damme? If one person doesn't put Jean-Claude Van Damme, I'll be disappointed. Even though I have written Jean-Claude Van Damme in the answer. Surprise, surprise, Rebecca does not know who that movie is or the actors. Somebody put Jean-Claude Van Damme, well done. It was, of course, Adam Sandler. Tiny Tim just pipped Juggler there. You really need to get one right, Tiny Tim, that Juggler gets wrong. Penultimate question. NO3 is the chemical formula for which compound? Nitrate, ammonia, chlorine, nitrite. So this is going to be a fastest finger first thing, unless somebody has read it too fast and selected the wrong one by accident. That's what I would have done. ACAT is very nice. Why am I drawn to ridiculously high alcohol beers? It was, of course, nitrate. Shadow. In under 2 seconds, well done. I don't think that can save you though, Shadow. Final question. A starry smooth hound is a type of what? Dog, seal, vegetable, or shark? A starry smooth hound. Of course it's a shark. Well done, everyone. Tiny Tim, not too smart, but in first place. We knew it was coming. We knew it was going to happen. Juggler with 317 points. Well done, well done. Congratulations, Juggler. A welcome return to the winner's circle. Oh, we got over 50% of people getting the questions correct, so that's a good stat for me. That means they're not too bad. And Juggler got most questions right, so on all fronts, we're winning. 80% of your questions were correct, Juggler. Well done. That deserves an extra round of applause. Tiny Tim with 70% correct. That's still pretty good. And it kind of works this week. Stephen P got 100% of his questions correct and then left early. If only, Stephen. If only. You could have been the winner of a terrible thing. Juggler, send me an email. As always, graham@aquariumadventures.co.uk. Send me an email. I can send you some stuff. I have options, but let's discuss offline. But congratulations, everyone. I think that was a positive quiz for once. June was first on a question. Made my day. Well done. It happens every now and again, doesn't it? It's great. Always a bridesmaid, never the bride. Well done, Juggler. A lifetime award for Juggler? Yeah, so I think we might have... That's what I'm saying. Send me something privately. We'll discuss. I think you might get a special one. I rallied at the end, but I was too busy drinking. You and me both, brother. I don't think I missed any other while we were doing the quiz. I think we got most of them. Juggler's just faster on Google. That can't be the case. Because... No. Some of these... It shows you the timings. That's the one thing I really like about this is it shows you how quickly everyone answers. So there's no way you can read a question, type the question into Google and get the response, and then type the response or choose your response in the quiz in under a second. And people are regularly, if not a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. You just can't do it. It's not possible. So I'm confident that nobody is winning by Googling. I'm sure people are Googling, but you can't win by Googling with this type of format. So Juggler's just cleverer than everyone else. That's it. Goldwater Aquatics, hello there. How you doing? Nice to see you. Human is doing surprisingly well. Thank you. Still having a chuckle. I don't know what it is. I almost said it again. Melon and lemon. I consistently confuse them up. I'm like, does anybody want some lemon for pudding? And they're like that. No. Why would we want? Ooh. I mean, melon, not lemon. And Shawshank Redemption and Hamshank Redemption. Oh, what's your favourite film, Graham? I've done this, and like, you know how you have like corporate days out and icebreakers and stuff? Let's go around the room, guys. Network, What's your favourite film? And I'm like, alright, well, I've got this. What's your favourite film, Graham? Oh, my favourite film. Yeah, it's Hamshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption. And everyone's like, okay, that's the weirdo. Wondered who it was. It's not even my favourite film. I just think it's a good film to pick as your favourite film. Because it's a good film. BT, by the way, TY, thank you. I have to decode these things after 3 beers. By the way, thank you for answering me on Instagram. Oh, you're welcome, Russell. There's somebody else that asked me a load of questions on Instagram, and I thought I'd been replying to them, and I hadn't been. So if it was you, I'm sorry it took so long. Juggler's just old and has more crap in his head. Quite right. Freudian slip there with the Hamshank. An AI screen scraper gets the answer faster than us, so Juggler, therefore, is AI. That could be true. I mean, he hasn't proved he's a real person. Yeah, or maybe he's trained his dogs. They're all sat at various laptops with their paws ready to go. Just in Scotland, the Hamshank is obviously something else. It is, yes, and we'll say no more about it. Port Stab Rejuvenation. So what is actually your favourite film? Oh, that's one of those questions that I don't know how to answer because I have so many. I have films I've watched multiple times. I have films that I love and I've only watched a few times, and I'm scared to watch over again in case I... Do you ever have that? Is that a thing, or is that just me? Where you have a memory of watching a film that was really good? So I'll give you an example. For instance, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. It was... No one had ever said or done anything funnier than Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And then I watched it when I wasn't stoned. And while still funny, it ruined that original first watching. But yeah, I've got loads. I find it really difficult to pick an absolute favourite, because that then puts everything else into like a category below, and I think everything should be up there shared, and it could be anything, whether it's some films are put on pedestals, in my opinion, where it's like, oh, it's so artful and so this, that and the other, and then the next film might be an action film. It's like, it's only an action film. But if a film makes you sit and go for 2 hours, it's worthy of being one of your favourite films. So I don't know what it could be. I often think about this, and I've still never come to a conclusion over what my favourite film is. I reckon there should be some there could be some reptile questions. There is an open offer to anyone to join the Discord server and submit questions, or if you're friends on Facebook or whatever it might be, just send me some questions. I'm happy to include them in the question bank. I enjoy the quiz, but you can guarantee as soon as it starts, the wife decides to talk to me. That's quite funny. Your quiz is proof that Sativa has invested all my indica plans. Very get that favourite film, can't rewatch. Yeah, because you want to keep it in the memory of, that was brilliant, I loved that, done. I don't want to analyse it, I don't want to pick it apart, I don't want to pick holes in it. I used to do lots and lots of driving, visiting client sites and things like that. So I'd often spend hours and hours on the motorway every day, driving around, and I'd find, this was in the days before podcasts were really popular. I suppose if I was still doing it to now, I'd probably be getting right into podcasts, and that'd be fine. But I used to find like comedy shows and comedy series and things like that. And there's one called Cabin Pressure. So if you're in the UK, this might be available on iPlayer and things like that. It's basically a comedy series, and it's about a struggling airline, and they go from ridiculous situation to ridiculous situation. So it's all very family friendly and everything. But I must have listened to that 100 times now, and I still think it's fantastic. I think it's really funny. I think it's really clever. It works on multiple levels. But I've got to the stage now where I've listened to it so much that my brain has automatically started picking holes in the plot points of it. So there's like 4 or 5 series of this, and in one of the episodes, it's about a charter airline. They're flying their plane, they get a bird strike, and one of their engines blows up. One of their engines blows up. Yes, that's the right words. So in the drama in that episode is, oh, we're not going to be able to continue as a company because we can't afford to replace the engine. How much does the engine cost, they say? It's going to cost $250,000 to replace that engine. Oh, I can't believe engines are that expensive. There's a whole thing about how expensive engines for airplanes are. And then in a later episode, they try and sell the airplane, fully functional airplane, because they don't want to keep the airline going anymore. And they sell the airplane, and it's going for like $8,000, $10,000. It's an auction, and they're like, "Oh, well, as long as we get to like $12,000, we're happy with that." And I'm like, "What?" A few episodes ago, it was £250,000 per engine. There's 2 on this airplane, so you're guaranteed at least $500,000 for 2 working engines. But they are selling the entire plane, including engines, for $12,000. And that one thing, that one slip, sullies every other episode for me now. So every time I listen to it, even though I think that it's hilarious and I laugh along to it, I laugh and I laugh and I laugh and I go, yeah, but they made that mistake. And I think if I just stopped re-listening to it, I wouldn't have thought about it that much, and it wouldn't have been a problem. And it's that same thing with films. That I think, oh, that was fantastic, and then you read a review about it, or you read somebody's critical analysis of it, and you're like, Ah, you twat. You're right, but I didn't need to know that. I didn't need to know that that doesn't add up, and that's not how that works, and that's not. Oh, you spoiled it for me now. So I try and not think about it too much, just so as if I happen to stumble on something, I can watch it without feeling like it's too bad, like I'm going to screw it. I think I'm weird for doing it like this, but that's how I feel. I rewatch the best things again and again. There's a charm in rewatching things after 10 plus years thinking it was lost. I do rewatch things all the time, and I do find problems with me rewatching them. So, for instance, The Office. The TV show The Office, I must have watched the British version 5 or 6 times. I've watched the American version 10 plus times. I think both are brilliant. It upsets me that people say it's upsetting that it got bad at a certain point. And like, no, it just got different. So, I get that. And because I watch commentary about people saying, oh, well, after season 8 it gets a bit rubbish, you're like, oh, God, it does a bit. Yeah, you're right. But if you hadn't said that, I wouldn't have thought about it, and I would have just enjoyed it. So shut up. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, another TV series, which is objectively not great, but I think it's hilarious. I love it. And then people go, oh, it's like canned laughter. Oh, it's so contrived. I'm like, well, yeah, it is a bit. But I was enjoying that. Stop. Oh, leave me alone. I like that. And it's the same with films. If you think a film's great, God, let me think of some films. I don't even want to talk about it because I'm scared that someone will say something and put me off one of my favourite films. How to Train Your Dragon, that is empirically the best film in the world. And why not? It has all the elements of the best film in the world. Jeopardy, local boy come good, disability overcome, everything. Yeah, why not? And who am I to tell you that it's not? That's the point. Let's name 5 of your favourite movies. I can't. I've got like a top 100 and they're all equal. That's the thing. And I love them all for different things. Rob Barry, how you doing? Rob, I think you might be a competition winner from a couple of weeks back. You should have all of them. You should have your prize by now. 1, 2 or 3, I won't debate which was best, but they're all incredible. Quite right. I didn't think King wrote Shawshank. Yes, so it was called something along the lines of blah 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 and the Shawshank Redemption. It's about. Hang on, I'll put it on the thing. Yeah, Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. It was a novella by Stephen King. But, I mean, if you're Stephen King and you're writing that much that often, you're bound. You could accidentally get turned into a film, I guess. Cora works. I'm a sucker for like these old movies with stop motion monsters. Jason and the Argonauts. Yes, that when I was a kid, that was one of my favourite films. The bit where the skeletons all come to life. I was like, how are they doing that? How did they get skeletons to become real? Oh my god. That's a golden fleece. How is it made of gold and still a fleece? Yeah, I loved that stuff. Clash of the Titans, Jason and the Argonauts, yeah. I can't rewatch. Oh, so it's not just me then. I can't rewatch Dragonheart in case I don't want to ruin it. Aye. There's yeah. So Fish Fit's in, and someone from Somerset, the documentary. The documentary Hot Fuzz is an enlightening jaunt into the southwest. Yes, so and that's part of the Cornetto trilogy, and they're kind of creeping into that for me because I really like them. So you've got Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz. What was the other one? World's End, was it? And I rewatched World's End recently and thought, oh, copied that bit from this film. Oh, I'd heard that joke before on another thing. Now I don't want to watch Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz again in case they put me off it. Ugh. Oh, right, okay, I'm miles behind, I'm sorry. I've been rambling. Okay. Every time I watch the dogging scene in car share, I still find it funny. I saw that the other day on like a YouTube clip or something like that, a YouTube short. It is objectively still funny. It's hilarious. I don't think I've seen the second or any of the prequels, but the first movie is still what I think of when people say Braveheart. What? There can't be more than one Braveheart. Boss says, I find it hard to sit through a movie these days. I either get bored or fall asleep. I must admit, I'm getting that kind of way. I'll quite often complain to my wife, and I'm like, oh, there's nothing good on TV. And then wake up at 3 in the morning like, oh, where'd everyone go? Oh, what happened? For the greater good. The Office I won't watch. Oh dear. So when The Office first came out, the UK Office, Britain seemed to be split in two. You could either be, you were a fan of The Office or you were a fan of The Royal Family, which was another of the TV shows at the same time. And it was The Office was seen as cringe because it was very cringy. It was David Brent being cringy, and The Royal Family was being northern and working class. So if you had to fit into one of the camps to find one of them funny. Or Phoenix Nights was another one that was kind of shoehorned in between there somewhere. But I liked all of them. I thought they all had their own merits and they were great. And then the American Office came along and everybody in Britain went, oh, it's not as good as the real one. And it was and it wasn't, but the American Office is hilarious. I will fight anyone that disagrees. It stands on its own merit. It's hilarious. I love Dad's Army. So you've never seen a film made before 2001, but you love Dad's Army. And I have done since I was 5. I've got news for you. Have I got news for you as well? Yeah, so Dad's Army is probably to the American viewers, you've never heard of it. We had a thing called the Home Guard, which was all the old people that were too old to fight during World War II. They protected their phone boxes when when they had to stay home. It was a comedy series, and it was very funny. Don't tell them your name, Pike, and all that kind of stuff. And Have I Got News for You is a topical news quiz program. my series is Community. All other opinions are wrong. I do love Community. That is one I have watched several times as well. Not as many times as The Office or Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but yeah, I do like it. It is very good. I realise it wasn't clear. So Community is the best TV series ever. I mean, it's hard to argue with because it is very good. And maybe that's a victim of the same kind of thing that I'm talking about. Because I read a bit about Chevy Chase's involvement in that, and you know how he disappeared in like season whatever. As did Danny Glover, Danny Glover's son, Childish Gambino. So there was a whole thing going on in there, and once it kind of broke the spell for me, if I'm honest, when I learned all about it all. And Chevy Chase, Fletch, all that kind of stuff. I loved him. He was great. Oh, he's a dick. Oh, that's annoying. And yeah, so it kind of. And yeah, Jeff, he was a bit of a. If he hadn't done. I mean, this is a very tenuous link here. But do you remember Tiger King? They did like a Meeting the Stars of Tiger King after Tiger King was famous. And Jeff from Community, whose name I now can't remember, presented that show, and he was talking to all the people who were being basically accused of murder. And going, so, you were accused of murder. Did you really kill him? And they were like, no, we didn't. Oh, okay, well, we believe you. Next person, and you're like, what? Murder? They're being accused of murder, if you're English. And he was just like, yeah, whatever, yeah, I'm on TV. I was a bit like, and that spoiled his Community performance for me. I was like, So that's what I mean about sullying the memory of the first couple of experiences of something like a film or music or TV shows. I mean, I don't think it's happened in music. I mean, there's been a few times in music where I've really, really, really loved the song and then seen an interview with the artist and gone, ugh. And then the next time I hear the song, I'm like, oh, yeah, this used to be one of my favourites. It's no longer my favourite now. Fish Vet. I know someone that writes fan fiction on How to Train Your Dragon. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just not my thing. For Stephen King carries the best. I mean, there's loads with Stephen King. I mean, he probably holds some kind of record for most books or screenplays developed into films and things. It, to name but one. I now can't think of any others. I'm going to have to Google it just to remind myself. The Shining. How can you forget The Shining? Pet Sematary. That was one of the first ones I ever saw, was Pet Sematary. Shawshank Redemption. Stand By Me. Another great film. Carrie. The Green Mile. The Boogeyman. Misery. That was a great film as well. Cujo with a mental dog. What else have we got? The Running Man. I didn't know that was a Stephen King one. You know, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Dolores Claiborne, that was a good film. Oh, loads. Did I miss it? Sorry. Sorry, Tommy. We're done. Yeah, we're now talking about favourite films. I apologise. We've moved on from any fish questions. If you have any fish questions, ask them. I'll ignore them and continue talking about my favourite films for the next 15 minutes. World's End isn't bad. Paul is great. Paul! Yeah, that was the Alien film. That's not part of the Cornetto trilogy, is it? So, the film Paul I like for a different reason. Apparently, they found out that there's... this is so boring, it's not true. But there's a scream used in loads of films when someone falls down a well or falls off a cliff or trips down some stairs. There's a sound effect that's used, and it's like, ah! And it's used in that film. And because I watched the DVD extras of that film, I now know every film that's used in. And as soon as you know that, you hear it everywhere. It's because it's like a royalty-free scream. That if you need to put a scream into a film, that's the scream you use. They also did Paul, but not part of the trilogy, quite right. My wife is grounded for making me with. I mean, you can always listen back and submit your score by email afterwards. Say, well, if I was playing, I would have got 330 points. So, send me a thing. I'm way behind. I've not seen Braveheart. Seen 2 seconds of the new Scottish thingy, and it was very bloody and gruesome. So, Braveheart is... I went to see Braveheart, which, as a Scotsman, we consider a documentary in historical accuracy of 100%. We're pretty sure William Wallace spoke with an American or Americo-Australian accent. It's the only film that's not... This would have been true until a couple of years ago. Until a couple of years ago, it was the only film I'd ever watched in a cinema where at the end everyone stood up and clapped, like it was the theatre. And at several points through the film, people cheered and went, "Yeah!" Like how I naively, and I apologise to all my American viewers, how I naively assume all Americans watch cinema. USA, USA. We were like, Scotland, Scotland, Scotland. Everyone cheering, everyone... How you can, even if you don't like it, you should be pissed off by it enough to at least watch the whole film. It is objectively and subjectively a good film because it makes you watch it. And yeah, that's a film I've seen dozens of times. Obviously loads of problems with it, but my judgment is clouded by the subject matter. The other film, by the way, that I've been to watch in a cinema where everyone stood up and cheered, Spider-Man. When Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire came back as other Spider-Men, literally people either side of me got up. Yeah! Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Royal Family and Office sucked farts. No, they were both good. You just had to be in a certain... camp. Yeah, they were out at a time when I lived in a student house where we had posh people, working class people, northerners, southerners, and I could sit there and see it from like everyone else arguing over what to watch, or just arguing about what was funny and what wasn't funny. And me, as I felt I was neutral because none of them were about Scottish people, so I felt I was neutral and I found them all funny. The British Golden Girls wasn't a patch on the American version. I had no idea. Out Crowd was better. I think that's meant to say It Crowd, yes. It Crowd, love it. Absolutely fantastic. Did you know there was an American version of It Crowd with Jeff from Community, who was Roy in the It Crowd, and Moz was still Moz. Yeah, I watched the pilot of that recently. American Office is better. There, I said it. Parks and Rec was even better. Parks and Rec, brilliant. Love it. I think I'm going to have to create like a tier list of films and comedies and TV series, and we'll turn that into some kind of quiz. Family Guy, rather close to the bone, would never make anything like that now in this PC world. Family Guy is the name my second son is called, Stuart. And even today when we say Stewie, makes me laugh. If we're going to talk about Gervais, Derek and Afterlife are amazing. Both make The Office look terrible. Can't really disagree with you. Love Derek. Afterlife, I've pretty much loved everything Ricky Gervais has done. Has anyone mentioned Only Fools and Horses yet? No. That wasn't really one of my go-to. I get that it's like a British institution and I appreciate it for what it is. But it's one of those things that it was on in my house. I don't ever remember thinking, this is hilarious. I absolutely loved some things in Only Fools and Horses, like the iconic falling through the bar thing. I need to, for our American friends. And I reference it as well. Trigger's broom. I've talked about filters being Trigger's broom. But I don't really have an affinity with Only Fools and Horses. Like I have not downloaded all of the episodes of Only Fools and Horses. I have downloaded all the episodes of The Office, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Community, etc., etc. So I'm about to get demonetized for this, but if you are in the US, this is objectively funny. This is David Jason, National Treasure of UK TV. I'll probably wait until he's dead and he'll turn out to be some kind of weirdo. This is like repeated every Christmas in the UK. It's just slapstick, isn't it? And so yeah, Only Fools and Horses, very much hilarious. Sorry, I probably screwed up the audio for that. You might need to watch the It Crowd. You definitely need to watch the It Crowd. It was brilliant. And I recreated so much of the It Crowd. We would literally go into work sometimes with like a box like this and go, this is the internet. Can you look after it for the weekend? And people would be like, they would take it home and be like, oh, okay. Yeah, and that's all from the It crowd. It's very funny. Ritesh says that was the only good part of Spider-Man. What, when they brought in the old Spider-Mans? Train spotting is truer to life for Scotland than Highlander. Well, Highlander's nothing to do with Scotland. Highlander, as I have said several times before, has a Scotsman playing a Spaniard, a Frenchman playing a Scotsman. There's so many things wrong with Highlander, but there can be only one, so it has to be Highlander. Office is great. US version better. I mean, I kind of have to agree, yeah. It crowd was fantastic because working in IT. Let's pick up the toilet cleaners. Quite right. Afterlife is epic. Afterlife is great. I mean, it is. I'll just say Banana Man. Drops mic. Afterlife is hard, and that's what I like about it. Some of it is hilarious. Some of it is heartbreaking, and it's the same with Derek. Was a bit like that as well, when he just wants to have a friend, and the bits when he's crying. I mean, if you watch it with no context, you're like, oh, it's a bit much, but in the context of what it was, it's heartbreaking. Oh god, I'm miles behind again. Yeah, sorry, I screwed up the audio. It's very much screwed up. There was another show called... I'm going to have to save this for next week because it was really funny. I think it was a New Zealand show. Two guys. What's it called? I can't remember. I'm very sorry. I do not know what it was called. But I think we've done enough for this evening. Oh, we've gone over as well. It's now time for us to enjoy the delights of either Discord or Coldwater Aquatics, who are probably streaming, and Scott will no doubt be putting a wee link into the description. Go and check that out. Thank you for sticking around so far. Give me a like on your way out, or a dislike, I don't really care. Just give me some kind of interaction. Go and watch one of my videos. We've got a new video coming out soon on the new light that we've got. Hopefully a very exciting video coming out soon on... I'm going to keep it quiet for now, but possibly the best video I've ever made. So if you aren't subscribed, get subscribed, and we'll see you in the next video. If not, we'll see you here same time next week. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend, because I pressed that button too soon. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!